you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty about how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
To the real raw. I just want to start off by saying one thing, David. Tony Robbins, you know this, said that there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callaghy. And he said that recently. And that what we're doing here is absolutely incredible. And today we have a little bit of something going on. So D-Rush, welcome. Please.
Yeah. Great to be here, and everybody, great to be with you. I'm glad everybody could come on this, what we'll call Fun Friday. It is a Friday afternoon. I know Catherine said it's beautiful out there with a lot of sun and other dynamics going on. So you could be other places. And yeah, I've got Costa Rica in the background, and that's actually where Sean was traveling to. So unfortunately, he won't be here with us for the next little while, and you've got Gina and myself at the helm to walk through some fun dynamics and walk around and get to know each other and go through the real raw experience. So Gina, what's fun for you today? What's going on?
Well, I wanted to say that about Sean because he does not. This is a rare occasion. We didn't know that was going to be, so we get to have fun with you all today on this Fun Friday. What's fun here is it's gorgeous on the Jersey Shore. I live a mile from the ocean. I can't wait. I'm going to go there tonight. I'm going to be there this weekend, and I'm super excited about that. So that's what's fun for me. And what
I was told to highlight that you had a unique experience on the Jersey Shore with maybe Bruce Springsteen. Is that true?
I might have. I might go to the same beach as Bruce for the past 20 years. That is one of those fun things, which of course we know Sean is he is inspired by Bruce Springsteen every day, speaks about him all the time. So he likes to make fun of my being, he likes to make fun of me with having kissed Bruce Springsteen, which I did. This is true. So thank you, David Rush.
It is a good fun fact, that's for sure, for the Fun Friday. And you do take a lot of heat for it, but you take it well, and that is awesome.
Yes, and it is definitely something fun that I take around with me, and I will certainly remember. And let me just introduce David Rush, guys, because this man is extraordinary. He is definitely out creating impact in the world. After spending 15 years in financial services in firms like Bear Stearns, JP Morgan, Bank of China, he shifted his focus to consulting, training, coaching executives and their teams like Goldman Sachs, HSBC, and JP Morgan, etc., and many more, focusing on the art of executive presence, influence, sales, leadership. He recently joined us here at Unblinded as our outstanding leader of corporate business development, training, partnership, delivering Unblinded across all businesses and corporate spaces. Why? Because, well, David, actually, why don't I ask you why? Why are you doing that? Why are you here?
It's always maybe not fun to hear your own bio, but thank you so much, Gina, because it sounds good from time to time. No, I came into the Unblinded community over a year and a couple months ago. I had the pleasure of meeting Sean, being with Sean, and just being in this ecosystem and what he's created here. And where I was not where I am now, which is this mission-driven, integrity-based conversation around how do we empower other people? How do we build and create ecosystems and mergers and really have all of us win in so many different dynamics that are important to all of us. So that's what drew me in, and here we are, Gina. So great to be here today and lead the charge. And where do we go next?
All right. So, and thank you, because there's no one that you lead with so much heart. And now I'm going to introduce our fine folks today, coming from, like, he's an NYU alumni, first one in his family to graduate from university, founder and CEO of HGRN Commercial Lending, a real estate rock star, been in the mortgage space since 2006. Again, founder of HGRN Media, producer of his own show, The Real. I'm about to say The Real, but that's what we are. So it's Real with Omar. In its second series, it's been picked up by a network for distribution already. So Luis Figueroa, welcome to The Real Raw.
Thank you. Don't know what to expect yet, but glad to meet everybody.
Yeah, well, Luis, what had you? I mean, one thing, you're dear to my heart. You probably know the mortgage world pretty good. I performed it at Bear Stearns mortgage-backed securities in 2004 to 2008. So I'm sure we have a lot that we could talk about.
Right before it went hot. Right before it went hot, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's Luis, right? Sorry,
Yeah,
I want to make sure we pronounce it right. Luis.
Thanks.
Okay, back to you, David.
What had you say yes to coming on The Real Raw today, Luis? Maybe share a little bit about that.
Kind of used to being on the camera a little bit, so I think it's always good. And my biggest thing is controlling the narrative. So being able to speak to like-minded individuals, maybe people that are not in my immediate circle, my immediate circumference, and expanding my horizons.
Amazing. Well, this is a perfect place for that. What's a fun fact on Fun Friday? What's something unique or different, or you just want to throw into the mix here?
Oh, you had me thinking about that earlier today. I was like, wow, I saw the other clips of other people. So fun fact is that I do CrossFit with the wife, and I'm really bad at it, but I keep going. I keep trying.
Amazing. How long have you been doing the CrossFit?
Oh, like 5 years.
Ah,
Feel better.
I bet you're a little better than like not great. You probably have some expertise at this point.
I never win, but it's whatever. It's for health.
Well, you got to let her win, Luis. You got to let her. That's part of the marriage, right?
That's it.
Fantastic. All right, Gina, who's up next?
All right. This attorney with over 10 years of securities regulatory background. He's an equity and real estate investor. He loves spending time with his family and friends the most. Mr. Peter Garcia, coming to us from Puerto Rico. I cannot roll the R's. I'm sorry. It's just a fact. I should stop trying. Welcome to The Real Raw.
That's fine. No problem, Gina. I've stopped trying to roll my R's for a long time ago, but yeah, awesome. Peter, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Trust me, they say Puerto Ricans can't roll their R's anyway in Spanish, so that's fine.
Amazing. What had you show up today, or what intrigued you about The Real Raw?
Well, I will say Gina and Bianca, who I spoke from The Real Raw, were very infectious about the program. So really loved hearing and speaking from them, and got to see some of your past programs, which is really exciting. So, that on top of, and I think Luis kind of touched on this too, just an opportunity to meet other folks is a really great opportunity. So really excited to be here. So thank you for welcoming me.
Amazing. And tying in a little bit, I saw you have a little FINRA background. I'm familiar with FINRA back in the day with all the regulatory things out of 2008. So I feel like there's commonality theme going through here, Peter. So great to have you here. What's a fun fact for you?
Well, I was going to give a different one, but since you mentioned Bear Stearns, one fun fact is that's the place I actually wanted to go to when I graduated college. I was in college at the time. And I met with Ace Greenberg, which you probably are familiar. He started as a mail clerk, worked his way up as a CEO, But I reached out to him in college, and he invited me to his office, checked the trading floor. That's where I fell in love and said this is where I would work when I graduated. But of course, as you know, it disappeared. But fun fact is that's probably where I would have been if things were a little different.
Yeah, well, that's a great fun fact. It was an interesting time, I'll tell you that much, in 2008. I'm sure people have seen and know about that, The Big Short and all those things, but for sure. Well, Peter, great to have you on board here today and looking forward. So Gina,
Yes.
where do we go now?
And thank you for the compliment, by the way, Peter. Appreciate that very much. Okay, next up, so the two participants, Peter and Luis, our judges, David, are namesake, David Choi. He's an actor, technologist, entrepreneur, filmmaker, and a technology risk manager by trade. He loves nothing more to explore and experiment, though, with the intricacies of his own physiology through plant medicines, which if Bella was here, she would absolutely love hearing that, because why? He studied economics and food science at NYU also. So I think we have a couple of NYU grads here today. He's been a passionate student of nutrigenomics, the all-natural variety of biohacking for over 20 years, which I so want to hear more about, David. So we're connecting. I would love to connect on that. And we're just really grateful you're here. Welcome to The Real Raw.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. And just like Luis, I also do CrossFit.
We're across the show. I know what you say already.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that you got to let your wife win.
No, she wins.
Fair,
She
wins,
fair.
yeah.
It's great.
I just go heavier. I just go way heavy. I'm like,
trying.
So yeah, I'm excited to be here. I got introduced to the Unblinded community through Joseph Argiz. He's a good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, and we met at Toastmasters. So he brought me in here, and I had a blast on the first Real Raw experience, and thought I'd do it again. So thank you.
Amazing. I love some of the commonalities and chemistry that's brewing. Joseph is a dear friend of mine. I also have a Toastmasters background, and in the CrossFit world, I don't know if you saw the video, there were two guys walking on their hands at a brief instance. One of them was me. It was a race, and I won.
Look at that.
Really?
There's that dynamic as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So cool.
Fun fact for you, David. What's something you want to throw into the mix here?
Oh gosh. Well, Peter had mentioned crypto, so I'm involved in the crypto world. I do some Bitcoin mining. I own some mining machines myself. I have a bunch in my living room running, and have a few on the way. So yeah, fun fact about me.
So it must be hot in your house because the machine's always on, right?
Yeah, well, when it gets over 90, I'll just turn them all off, and it's just not even worth it. And plus, I don't want to overload the grid. Yeah,
that's awesome. The background looks cool though, so it's like you're in a little cool cave. So maybe the mental imagery helps too.
This is interesting to me. Like, I'm imagining all these like old style looking computers. I have no idea what a Bitcoin, like what it looks like, but I'm gonna have to check it out.
Sure,
for sure. Gina, where do we go now?
Well, I was just going to say, I'm feeling like a whole lot of strength in the house today. And I also want to mention, guys, since Sean was not able to be here today, you're all going to be invited back. So I'm the producer. We'll connect. I'll make sure that you guys get back on the show. Next up, the other female, bringing the female energy with me. Woohoo! With that big old big smile and surely a big heart I see and I feel. Catherine Toppin, coming from Maryland, right, Catherine? Dynamic. Yes. Dynamic business partner, registered patent attorney, global team leader, and also a speaker of 15 years experience in the industry. Her legal experience is extraordinary, like private practice, in-house counsel. She loves helping at a Fortune 10 company, by the way. She loves helping her clients align their IP strategy. Welcome, Catherine, to The Real Raw.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Catherine, great to have you here, and always good to have some folks from DC or Maryland area.
DMV is the DMV.
DMV?
DMV? What is that? So, DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah, a little DMV lingo for you. Yeah.
DMV. We learned some new acronyms today. That's fun.
And if you're really in Maryland, you say Merlin. So.
Yes, Merlin.
Yeah.
I like that. What had you show up today? What intrigued you about what's going on here?
Flattery. When somebody contacts you on LinkedIn and says, "Hey, we want you to be on this show," you say, "Why not?" I'm also looking to soft launch a life coaching business later this year. So I figure it's a good time to meet other people and see what's up, with the show. I did a little research and, to see what the show was about. It looked really interesting. So figured I would show up.
Amazing. Great to have you here. And fun fact, anything you want to throw into the mix?
So my fun fact, it's a lot of little things about me, but something random that maybe everybody's not exposed to. I just did my first breath work session. Has anybody heard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Been there, done it.
Totally new for me. So I'm in this life coaching space and trying all the modalities of everything, that can unblock. So literally I'm in this home office yesterday, like shivering and crying and shaking on the floor, releasing shit. Sorry if I can say shit. So it was
the real raw.
It's Friday. Anything goes.
I'm a breath work believer. So try it if you haven't tried it.
Yeah. I think
I think you got some nods when you said that. So you have some believers in the room for sure. Yeah.
I'm also afraid of CrossFit. I have seen it up close. Congratulations. Not for me, but because I get injured in every single time I try a new exercise, but I have a lot of respect for it. So way to go, CrossFitters in the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm afraid.
Well, you definitely have to practice breath work when you're doing CrossFit in a different capacity.
The competitions. My best friend is a CrossFitter. I've dated CrossFitters. I'm a supporter on the sidelines. Yeah.
What style of breath work did you do? Do you know? Was it like the Wim Hof method?
I was just laying on the ground doing lots of that.
David, are you familiar with that one?
Music.
Yeah.
It could be something or other. I don't know if I didn't even know that there was different styles. So as I said, I'm a breathwork, newly non-breathwork version. So yeah, it's new to me.
Yeah, I took the Wim Hof version.
Oh, okay.
The Wim Hof method. Yeah.
I just learned something. So thanks, David.
That's a good one. David, are you a cold plunger as well? Do you jump into the ice water? And
I also did that, but I'll do it when I go to like the Russian bathhouse or the sauna. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other
hot cold?
Yeah. Do we have any other cold plungers in the house?
Guilty.
Yes, I
got Guy's in the house as well. All right.
Well, the heat when the hot water doesn't work, does that qualify? Go.
Well, let's meet Mr. Tommy John, and then we'll kick it over to Kai after Tommy. Tommy John Kirker, welcome to The Real Raw. This man started his own firm, David, at 24 years old. 24. Currently a 5-person law firm with offices in Texas and Louisiana. Largest trial verdict that he was involved in was $12.45 million. Mostly participated. I'm gonna let you say that, Tommy. You mostly participated in.
Oh, yeah. I really like voir dire. That's how we call it down here.
Oh,
so
that's what I was gonna say, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, voir dire.
Voir dire, voir dire.
I get brought on to help pick juries for a lot of cases, so that's kind of my niche that I've found myself in.
Well, and there's more. I didn't want to hang on, David. There's more. I just didn't want to mispronounce that word. There's more because hold the phone. This man is the most viewed lawyer on social media. Over 1 million social media followers on all platforms combined, and over 200 million views on YouTube in 2021 alone. And we're just a little over halfway through that. Oh no, we're not yet, are we? But
almost there. Yeah.
There.
It's close.
Yes.
It's close.
So
We're close. Close enough.
Extraordinary. Welcome, Tommy John.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Tommy, how are you today? What had you kind of intrigued by this whole ordeal?
So, to Gina's credit, the reason why I'm here is persistence. I initially said no, and Gina called me back, I think maybe 2 or 3 times. And you know what? I really appreciate that. And Sean is a fellow personal injury trial lawyer. And I thought, if they're going to call me so many times and show so much persistence, I'm going to come on this show.
Amazing. Yeah, we need to link you with Sean at some point. He started his firm at 28 and has done some extraordinary things in alignment with where and what you've created. So that's pretty extraordinary, to say the least.
Yes, well, I believe Tommy's talking to Mike Smikin on Monday, but we are for sure going to have you guys all back with Sean for sure, because we, like as I said. So, but let's find out something fun. What's a fun fact, Tommy?
Yeah.
I have 2 18-year-old cats.
What?
Very
18?
fun. 18. They're awesome.
Amazing.
They're thriving. They're around
What
here
are you
somewhere.
eating? What are you feeding them?
Well,
As the biohack guy, this is amazing.
No, this is a great question. I actually had a great I was at a wedding last week and somebody was asking me this exact same question. Here's the deal. They get the same dry food that they've had forever, and they've never been to the vet, which is why they're strong. So, they know that, they just have the same thing, nothing special. I don't take any care of, obviously I love them and I take care of them, but they don't get any special treatment or anything. That's why they're extremely healthy and strong. At least that's my personal theory.
Male or female?
Both female.
Both female. Okay.
Amazing.
That is amazing.
They might pop in around here at some point.
Yeah, have them.
Yay, I hope so.
Tommy, was that strategic for 18 years, or did that develop, or you've always had?
No,
that
so I mean, I grew up with them. When originally when we got them, I was just a kid, and my mother moved out of Texas, and when she moved out of Texas, the cats were staying because at the time they were 14, and we thought that was old. So then they came over to my house, so I now have the cats.
Amazing. Names. Let's throw names out there just for fun. What are the names of the cats?
Casey and Cleo.
Casey and Cleo. All
Nice.
right.
Is
Very
18 like normal for a cat? I'm thinking that's pretty old for a cat.
That's all.
I don't know. I don't know. They're
I
going
feel like
strong. They're going strong.
I don't know.
That's
Very
good. That's good. Yes. Well, all right. Last but not least, Mr. Kyle Christensen coming to us from Colorado Springs, Colorado, where he, by the way, has an Airbnb and is invested in 2 rental homes in Florida as well with the Chris Crone, where he met Sean. So you had the opportunity to meet and hear Sean Callaghy. But he is, and he's the oldest of 5 kids, married for 22 years, best friends with his wife since she's 14. They're 14, 4 kids. His family is #1 priority. And he's the sales director for an international company called Thrive for the past 17 years. Welcome, Kyle, to The Real Raw.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
I met, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Jump in.
I was just saying, I met Sean at one of Chris's events and I was super impressed. And, I work with sales reps all the time. And just his idea of hello to yes in just a couple of minutes. I think that's one of our biggest challenges is stumbling over that introduction and getting someone to hold still long enough to have a conversation and, see how we could help someone out. And so I was excited to connect with him and I love some of the phrasing and nomenclature he uses, talking about ecosystem mergers. And I was talking to one of my reps today. I deal with local businesses from Albuquerque up through Denver and over to Salt Lake. And I see best practices from like electricians and plumbers and stuff. And it's like, you know what, we should get them on for a Zoom meeting, kind of like this, and let them share some ideas, because the one in Albuquerque, protecting trade secrets or be competitors with each other. But anyway,
that's amazing.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, that's what this is all about. It's a shared experience, bringing people together that are dynamic, can connect with one another, can, as you said, ecosystem merge, find ways to add value to one another and take it from there. So Kai, you are spot on with all of that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we do that with companies all over, actually, Kai. That's one of the things we do with many, many businesses is have this kind of the real raw for other businesses, etc. It's where heart-centered, integrous influence is unpacked. The gateway to grow and scale your money, time, and magic. And it's really awesome to have you all here. So Okay, so David.
Gina, that rolled off the tongue really nicely. That's where heart-centered integrous influence is unpacked. Wow, that's like tongue twister and well delivered. I like that.
Well, it's true, right? This is where we bring leaders together, truly causing integrous leadership to merge ecosystems to make the world an even greater place through, for me, it's all about the heart-centered connections, person to person, human to human. It's because I love people. I love life. I want to live free, and I want to see everyone I know live free and have an opportunity, to have more money, time, and magic in their lives. And, that's what we're all about, truly, and literally linking arms with people all over the world to make that magic happen. And through doing this with different businesses and companies, Kyle, it works. It true, like when Sean says at the end of that video, it works. It's because it actually is working, and we have been taken off like wildfire with many ecosystems. So
let's
to
not
you.
Step over the fact that Kai, we need a fun fact before we can move forward.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Please.
Well, I have a poodle who had some puppies a few years ago, and it was back in 2017. And we had a plan to go up to Idaho, where my wife's family's from, to watch the solar eclipse. Because there was the totality went right through the middle of her uncle's farm. And but our dog was due to have puppies like the day before. And my wife was like, no, I'm going to stay home with the dog and I'm not going to go. And I was like, look, Shannon, you have to come with me. We got to go with the family. This is going to be amazing. We've never seen a full eclipse like this. And so I went and got a $10 wading pool from Target. And I took out one of the seats from the minivan and I put it in there with the dog. By the time we got to Rock Spring, Wyoming, we took her out to go to the bathroom. And my daughter at the time, who was 14, was holding her, and she started having a puppy on the lawn at the gas station. And my daughter was freaking out. She's like, Dad. And there was this sweet old lady who's like, honey, do you need a poop bag? She's like, no. And so we got the dog and the puppy into the van, and she was taking care of him and licking it up, and we got it nursing. And I was like, look, we got to call your uncle to make sure he's okay if there's puppies there. And he was fine with it, of course. And my wife was like, all right, I'm driving. You're dealing with this. And so all the way from Rock Spring to New Dale, Idaho, we're delivering puppies about every 30 minutes as we're driving through Wyoming mostly. And every time a new puppy would come, I'd scoop up the ones that had already been born and hand them to my kids, and they're holding them. The new puppy would get established and start nursing, and then we'd put them all back. And we ended up having 11 puppies.
Oh my!
And, they all lived.
Wow!
And
they all lived.
It was kind of fun because we'd never had puppies before, and I was reading. I was like, oh, they have to stay at 80 degrees tonight because they can't regulate body temperature. And so I was sleeping with them in the van, keeping the van running and the heat going. It wasn't a very good night's sleep, but the eclipse was beautiful. The puppies all did great. We have one of them still. It was a wonderful, joyous time for our family, and it was crazy.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where we go with all that. That was such a story.
That is incredible.
Bitch, you did that. Gave birth to 11 babies in
a car. Yeah.
Story.
I'm excited about the dog.
We might need to end the show right now. I think.
All
right.
Let's kick this thing off. Let's do it, David.
Amazing. Well, great to have you here, Kai. Absolutely. So Gina, we've got a lot of things going on. We've got cats, we've got dogs, we've got DMV, we've got plant medicine, we've got lots of different things happening. I think we should probably move on to the second portion of all of this. And, we're all here, dynamic. I'm blessed to be with all of you, certainly with such incredible backgrounds, and we all are influencing outcomes in our life. And it's important that we are thinking about how are we impacting outcomes, what are the dynamics around that, and we're all looking to think about that and up level from one way or another. And that's what we're going to dive into now. How do we have conversations, impact, and move from what we'll call hello to some kind of yes? And that's what the tail end of this is having a conversation, a role play. We've got two incredible participants, Luis and Peter, all teed up.
So we have more judges than participants.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So we'll get a lot of feedback.
Exactly.
There's lots of unblinding of, of blind spots maybe here, maybe unlocking even more higher levels of your influence, Louis.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have a feeling like Tommy and Catherine are pretty cutthroat, so we'll see how that goes. No, I'm just playing.
The attorneys in the house.
Yeah. So to set this up, Luis and Peter, it's 3 minutes. You get to choose. Gina's going to be the role player. You get to choose who she is. She can be anybody. She can be the president of the United States. She could be Gina. She could be your ideal client, anybody you're looking to have a conversation with, where the ultimate outcome is to get some kind of agreement, some kind of yes. It could look like we should put 30 minutes on the calendar and have a deeper conversation, something like that. And that's where we're going. Gina, anything to add or throw into the mix?
Just, you can make me whoever you want. Like you said, I've been Oprah. I have been Steven Spielberg. I've been a divorcing, devastated wife, talking to a divorce lawyer, whatever you want, whoever you want me to be. And then at the end, each of the judges, you guys will have 30 seconds for feedback and give a score. And we're gonna have a timer, so let's have some fun. So
amazing.
Who's going first, David Rush?
We should figure out how to pick that. And just a little guidance for the judges. This is all about how do we connect, build connection with the person we're talking about, emotional rapport, and anything that you pick up along the conversation, both good and constructive, whatever shows up, that's where the feedback is oriented. So just to give some guidance there. And yeah, let's pick. I'm going to put a number between 1 and 2 underneath. Luis, pick a number, 1 or 2.
1.
It was 1, so you get to choose. Do you want to go first or second?
Sure, I'll go first. It's all good. And Gina, so this is going to be a little bit related to things that have been happening lately with, not to get into politics with you guys, but with the past president, the new president, everything that's been happening with the undocumented, the people, the Spanish people in the country that I've been dealing with. So you'll be a 37-year-old undocumented woman who's looking to buy a house and has no idea where to start. And I'll explain. I'll go with basically what I usually do. So
in the States. So I'm looking to buy a house in the States.
Yeah, you're buying something in New York. You're buying something in New York.
Okay.
And, like every time when the past president would say something scary, like everybody would run for cover, and it was just a lot of what's the word I want to use? A lot of propaganda. And now they're the propaganda the other side now. Now it's everything's Joe's fault. Everybody's fault. So let's just have that conversation.
Okay, let's do it.
Amazing.
I'm ready.
Vince, are you ready? We got the timer going and we're ready to rock.
Yeah. So when Luis says ring ring, we'll get the 3 minutes will kick off.
All right.
Like you're calling me.
Okay.
All
Ring
right.
ring.
Hello, this is Gina.
Hey Gina, how are you? My name is Louis Omar with Hudson Group Realty in New York City. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great, Luis. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Gina, the reason for the call is that I understand that you were trying to, or you were actually interested in learning about how to buy a house. And I wanted to have a few minutes of your time and maybe set up a in-person if we can, because I think a lot of people feel more comfortable that way, to go over what the process really is, what it entails, and how I can maybe be a benefit to guide you through it.
That would be, that would be really great. I'm trying to buy my first house. I just got divorced. I'm financially devastated, but I have just a little bit, and I have some help, and to buy my first house, but the government doesn't make it easy. So what do we do about all that?
In my experience, I think that everybody always thinks it's worse than it is. And the only thing I can tell you is that you have to take the first step forward to see where you really are at. So if we sit down and we go over your financial situation, whether you can do it today or tomorrow or next year, it doesn't matter to me, but at least give you some sort of game plan, some sort of strategy to help you start moving in the right direction. I think most people just feel like they can't do it right now, so therefore it's no longer an option. But even working out, it takes a plan, it takes a discipline. And maybe I can just give you some different programs that you don't know about. And then you can decide whether you're going to move forward now or maybe later. Again, my ultimate concern is to educate you and maybe help you get a better understanding of how this all works here in America, because I understand that in different countries, regulations are different. And I want to give you my full unbiased professional opinion.
And thank you. I appreciate that. I have talked to a couple of other people. So like, what makes you different? Because I don't know who to trust.
Access to programs is the biggest thing I can tell you. And the second thing is I being Latino as yourself, I can speak in Spanish, or I can also give you referrals of the clients I've helped in the past. Again, if this is a must do for you, if your why is that strong, then it's something that you have to put on your calendar. So I'm moving in the right direction. If it's just something you're thinking about, that's okay too. But let's explore that, whether or not maybe homeownership is not for you. But for so many, it's the American dream. So maybe we should discuss, just how feasible it is to do it now rather than later, or vice versa. Do it now rather than later. So it's really up to you. Again, it will be how comfortable you feel, first of all. Second of all, I can give you the programs that my competitors might have access to, that I might not have access to, and I'll give you full disclosure and let you know about everything that's available.
Okay. Well, I've been afraid to trust. I'll tell you that. It's been a bit of a scary, situation, and but I think it sounds like you're pretty honest and open to sharing other people's programs, etc. So that tells me something. So
there's a saying I use a lot: you don't know what you don't know. So all I want to do is just give you more information. Right after that, we can decide.
Okay.
Amazing.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
All right. Well done, Gina. Well done, Luis. Luis, how was that for you? What was that like?
That's the regular.
That's the regular? All right.
That's the regular, because the thing is that, people are, from your sophisticated client doing multi-million-dollar transactions, they don't know all the rules and they don't understand different things. And just to break it down in digestible components becomes the easy part. You just want to get them to see what is possible, what's not possible, why it's possible, why it's not possible, why it's not possible today, but can be possible tomorrow or 3 months, or, it's a lot of code. What I've learned I've been in the business since 04 or 05. A lot of it's just coaching. You're just coaching them through it. And again, if the necessity is there, if the why is strong enough, it's going to happen. If it's not, that's okay too. But once you take the transactional part out of it and understand that everybody's walking in this life together, right? We're just walking, and you don't know where you're meeting them. And once you identify where you're meeting them, then you can walk with them. And that's what I've been using all my life.
Fantastic. Well, clearly you've done this quite a bit, and it seems to flow naturally for you in that regard. So thank you. Let's go. Judges, we'll probably ask you for a score between 1 and 10. So if you want to just make a note, and then we're going to go to Peter. Peter, are you ready to rock and roll inside of the role play?
Yep. I don't know if I can beat what Luis just did, but I'll try to match that performance.
Yes, you can, Peter. Yes, you can.
You be you. You be you.
Yeah. Who would you like Gina to be in this scenario?
Gina, just to be yourself. I don't know if I can go a step further and just mention it'll be maybe having a conversation as if we just met right now in the real, Unblinded program. But yeah, just to be yourself.
Which you did. So it's relevant. Perfect.
I'm ready for that. I can handle that one really well.
Awesome.
Amazing. All right. Well, when you're ready, Peter, go for it.
Sure. Wait, do we have to do this whole ring thing, or I could just?
Well, you could just go ahead, go for it, whichever one.
Okay.
You could if you want to. You have the choice.
No. All right. So then we'll go ahead. Hey, Gina, nice to meet you and talk to you here.
Hey, Peter, nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
I know a bit earlier you heard that I'm a securities attorney and an investor in real estate and all these things, but really wanted to bug you about something unrelated to that I'm really passionate about, and it's community empowerment. And it sounds like I think you're someone that's really interested in that type of work. So I'm in Puerto Rico, and I thought maybe I connected with something that's going on here. So I heard of someone, her name's Bianca, last name Grelu, I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly. But someone who I have no relationship with, never met her. But she quit her job to be a journalist to really help out in the community. And one of the focuses that she has is there's private property sales and other things going on in El Yunque, which is a national rainforest in Puerto Rico. And if development happens there, it will actually put restraints on food, water supplies for the residents of Puerto Rico. So I don't know if you're Puerto Rican or not. I know I am, so I have a slight bias in it. But my ask is actually to support her, whether it's monetary or through other means. She's actually looking for maybe interns or others to help with research. And I feel, at least maybe giving you 2 reasons that maybe matter to me that might matter to you, is one, you're going to be helping someone who actually took a risk to quit her job to actually support and help her fellow community members. But the second is you'll actually have an impact, again, monetary or otherwise, with the community here, because it'll affect future generations on, again, the water and food supply. So I know that's a lot to probably share. But again, just really connected with you because you seem to be interested in community empowerment. Wanted to see if you're interested to maybe learn more, maybe work with me to connect with Bianca and see what we can do to help.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And it sounds like, you're a giving soul for sure for wanting to help her. And so you're asking so it could be monetary. It could be, what I'm hearing is it could be monetary. It could be people, right? Like people to help her with her mission.
Yep.
Interns, etc. Yeah. I mean, listen, I would be definitely interested in hearing more about that and seeing what I could do to support. I don't know how much bandwidth I have personally, but I might know some people who know some people that would definitely, I definitely know somebody who named Sean Callaghy, who has in his last 4 events where he did not even know he was going to be fundraising, has raised more than $3.4 million, literally when he didn't even know he was going to be, fundraising, except for a business mastery he was part of with Tony Robbins. And so, he's an extraordinary fundraiser. I would recommend maybe touching base with him as far as raising money. That could be something to think about. And yeah, I might be able to make that connection. So thank you, Peter.
No, thank you. And I look forward to the connection.
There we go.
Amazing. Awesome job. Peter, how was that for you? What was that like?
Good, a little bit nervous again. And Luis, thank you for your encouragement. I try to match your level.
Knocked it out, man. You knocked it out. You didn't match it.
No, you
definitely did. It was something that was dear. I think I know who you're talking about. I didn't know about that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Island is dear to my heart. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic, Peter. Heartfelt and clearly a very powerful and important cause and dear to your heart, and certainly to ours as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
And real quick, I just invite you guys to all put your info in the chat, because why not? You may want to connect with each other later. So back to you, David.
Yeah, no, all right. Well, I mean, let's go to the judges. So let's go to Luis first. And Gina, who should we go to first here? Who should we get some feedback from?
I'm seeing Tommy. Who I'm feeling, I want to hear feedback.
All right, Tommy, you are in the house. What do you have for, and this is 30 seconds or so, what do you say about Luis and how he communicated?
Let's keep it 30 seconds. And if you go too much over, you might hear me say, and your score is, and that way we can keep everybody in time.
Well, I thought both, gotcha. Well, I think both Luis and Peter were fantastic. Luis, I really enjoy the fact that you were open and transparent and willing to provide the potential customer with other people's information. That's kind of my approach as well, and something I really empathize with. When somebody calls my office about retaining a lawyer, I go, look, whether you hire me or somebody else, you need a lawyer for this situation, so right. It's kind of like the soft sell. You want to build their trust first. You weren't too pushy. You just said, look, if you want to go with another competitor, that's fine. I'll provide you all the resources for it. And Peter did the same thing as well. The only difference would be, Peter was going off of maybe a colder.
Let's pause there and just score for Luis, and then we'll get to Peter in just a moment.
9.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. Very good. 9.
Give you 30 seconds, Kyle.
That's it.
That's it. It's not easy. 30 seconds isn't easy, but we're going to keep
it a tight ship here, though. Yeah. All right. Who's up next? Let's go to David.
David, what do you have for?
All right.
Yeah.
That's me, right?
Yeah.
There's a couple Davids here.
Not the other David.
All right, got it. Yeah, for Luis, right? I thought it was a fantastic opening introduction. You sound like you genuinely want to help this person. And she seems a little apprehensive. But you were working through that. I think you did a great job giving her points about your service and how you could benefit her. I wonder if there was a way that you could connect with the caller on a more personal level, maybe some story about your background, why you got into the business. Maybe you did that, maybe I missed it. But I love what you're doing and keep doing it. So thank you. 8 score.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, David. I'll call you number 1. I'll be number 2 for today. Let's go to Kai. Kai, what say you?
For Luis, I loved how you introduced yourself at the very beginning. You said who you were, what you were doing, who you represented. That's super important. And I really liked your comment. It doesn't matter to me, what happens. I just want to find out where you are, educate you, give you access to programs that maybe you don't know about. The only thing that I think maybe when she asked, what sets you apart differently, I think if just restating back to her, what sets me apart differently is I have incredible access to programs that I want to share with you and see how that might meet your needs where you are currently. That was, I don't know if she caught when you did say access to programs, that maybe she missed that, but I'd give you a 9. I thought that was fantastic.
Amazing. All right. Thank you, Kai. And let's go last but not least, Catherine.
Sure. So I thought that Luis did a great job. He was obviously clearly well versed in what his offerings were and how he could benefit the client. I thought there was an opportunity, similar to what David said, to get a little bit more personal with the client and maybe to get real curious about where she is. Maybe you could have said, my experience, clients in your potential situation are trying to get help because of this or this. Does one of those resonate with you? To really draw her in to make sure she understands that you understood. I'd give Luis an 8.
Amazing. Thank you, Catherine. Luis, I would just say there were a couple of moments where Gina initially said, I'm newly divorced, I'm really struggling. And I think you came back with the solution. You might come and say, I understand, like almost like the acknowledgement and the validation of where she's
empathize with it.
Yeah, because she had a little energy there, so it might look like, Gina, I totally understand. Like that's a tough situation to be in. Maybe ask another question to lean into that a little bit. Good, but all that said, you had the heart. You were leaning in. We could feel your presence, your calmness, and clearly you know what you're doing. So real well done. All right, let's go to the other side. Feedback for Peter. Maybe we'll go reverse order. Catherine, do you want to jump in and share what your thoughts were for Peter?
Sure. So I really like Peter's delivery. I thought that he has a really nice way, rapport of coming across as extremely genuine and interested in the cause. I got a little bit confused about the story because there were lots of details that he provided, and I would have appreciated like a more clear connection. Are you passionate about this and that? It's something that's really important to me. So I forget what it was, environment or, community sustainability or whatever it is, and have the person connect to that and then say, there's a couple opportunities for you to give in those ways via my friend Bianca and, move on from there. I'd give Peter a 7.5.
Amazing. Good feedback, Catherine. Thank you. Clearly you're on your way to being a life coach because I think you're poking into a lot of key and relevant points. So thank you, Catherine.
All about the heart, love.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it. Who was next in the order? Kyle, I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah, Peter, I really liked the ask that you gave, coming to her and saying there's someone that I want to connect you with, and it's a really great cause that I think you're trying to help out with. I think maybe starting the conversation out with telling Gina that you were super impressed with her community involvement, her community empowerment, and the work that she does to helping others. And that's why I'm reaching out to you, because I have someone who I think who would really benefit if they were able to connect with you. And, I just think maybe setting that up a little bit, creating that rapport with Gina immediately about how much you're impressed with what she does.
And your score, Kyle?
8.
8. Thank you. Sorry,
Kyle.
I hate cutting you guys off, but we want to make sure we get it all around.
30 seconds is quick.
It is.
That's
30
so
minutes
quick.
is quick. 30 seconds is quick. Absolutely. But thank you, Kai. Let's go to David.
All right. Well, I totally echo what Catherine and Kyle was saying. I personally thought the storytelling was well said. I don't think I was confused, but I think that you had a great introduction. You were natural, you're authentic, you had good vocal variety. I love that you're crusading for environmentalism and preservation of our natural habitat, our environment. And I guess very minor, it would be the use of crutch words is kind of a Toastmasters thing. I don't know if you noticed, but you say a lot, and that could kind of distract from what you're trying to say. But otherwise, I love the mission, and I give you an 8.
Amazing feedback. Thank you, David. All right. And last but not least on this round, Tommy John, what say you?
I thought Peter did a great job. I give him a 9. I think his hypothetical was a lot harder in the sense that it was probably colder because Luis's hypothetical, he's selling to somebody who wants to buy a home or in that market. And in this particular case, Peter was trying to get somebody to donate to a cause, which they otherwise might not have known prior to the phone call. So I don't know. I would not like that job of trying to make that deal in such a short amount of time. I think he had a way harder hypothetical, and I think given more time to elaborate, he would have knocked it out of the park. So I think he also gets a 9.
There we go.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you, Tommy John. And I would just put into the mix here, Peter, and this is maybe in service of everyone, maybe connecting a little bit more with Gina up front and finding out, because there was a lot of, I think you're aligned with this. I think you're aligned. We might actually ask those questions like Gina.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say, well, why don't we do like something fun? Because, we're coming close, and I want to make sure we have this fun opportunity where you can maybe demonstrate some of that.
What did you have in mind, Gina?
I'm thinking we, maybe like, let's create a scenario where someone has to have you,
Who are we going to choose? How are we going to choose them?
Okay, let's do, I'm thinking of a number from 1 to 10 and have each person here see if they can guess that number, and then that person will get to decide who you will be. And yes, and we'll have to have you go from hello to yes and show, how you do that and share some of what you're speaking into. How does that sound?
Like fun. That sounds great. Let's go around, pick a number between 1 to 10. Kai, what do you got? What's your number?
8.
8.
Okay.
Luis.
I wanted to pick 8. All right, fine. I'll pick 2.
2. David.
3.
3. Tommy John.
6.
6. And Peter.
4.
4. Catherine.
7's always 7.
Amazing. That's my lucky number too. Maybe that was Gina.
Oh no, my lucky number is 3. Who said 3? David?
Yes.
David said 3. All right, David.
Number 2.
David, who would you like? Well, who do you want to be, and who do you want me to? Who do you want me to be talking to you?
Well, or David, we could have he can pass it to someone else to create the scenario. So there's a couple possibilities.
Oh, okay.
Here.
So this
so
is
like
you either get to create the scenario or pass off the scenario.
Yeah, or and you could be the person that plays in the scenario with David to try to get the getting the yes, or somebody else. You could pick someone else. So it's you win to get the pick it.
Your choice.
Pick and choose this scene.
Okay. I'm still not 100% clear, but I am gonna.
You're dropping Catherine. You're dropping me into a scenario, whatever scenario you want.
I was gonna get picked. I had to take my glasses off.
Yeah, she's getting ready, rolling up her sleeves. So yeah, Catherine, why don't you come up with a scenario?
Oh well, I'll totally do something that's self-serving for me and let you guys play it out.
Yeah,
and then
I'm going to be the person leading the conversation, but you can tell me what the scenario is.
Okay, well, as I said, I'm trying to start a life coaching business. Almost finished up with my certification, so I'd love to have someone who's sort of on the borderline of wanting to get a life coach because they're just having some, they're feeling stuck in their work, and then they're not sure if they stay on with the relationship. They could even be married, or let's say they have a long-term relationship. They're not sure whether to stay or go, so they're feeling like they may need to get some help to make a few decisions about job and relationships. And, someone, whoever the other person is going to try and sell them on, needing a life coach and the benefits of life coaching.
All right. Well, I'm that person. Who do you want to role play? You could choose the other person to role play with me.
And it could be you, it could be David, it could be,
If you want to be it, Catherine, we could do that.
I don't want to be it. I just want to observe.
He wants to delegate. He wants to delegate.
Yeah.
Why not? I'm just totally being
I'm the director.
Observing right now.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna let Kyle be the person who. So David, I want you to be the person pitching the life coaching services, and Kyle, I want you to be the person who's interested in a life coach.
All right. Fantastic.
Okay.
Ring.
That's good.
Hello. Hi, this is
Kyle.
Kai.
How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm really digging your background. I think we have a lot in common here. What's going on in your world?
Oh, just enjoying life, and yeah, things are going great. Thanks for the call. I appreciate you reaching out to me.
Yeah, no, great to connect with you. And what's going on in your world? What are you up to these days?
Well, like for a lot of things in my work, family, what I do for fun. What do you want to know about?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd love to know about all of it, but what's top of mind for you, or it sounded like there was a little bit of something in your voice. Are you feeling some challenges, or what's there?
Well, yeah, things seem to be going, are going well for me. I right now I'm working for a company that I've been with for a very long time, and we've reinvented ourselves a little bit, and sometimes I I wonder if I'm still staying in the right spot, or if it's something that I should move on from. And I have some real estate things on the side that I'm working on, and so no, I enjoy my job. I enjoy my work, what I do. But I'll be honest, sometimes I have those moments at night where I wonder if it's time to try something else.
Yeah, it sounds like it might be there might be some thoughts of transition or something else. And what would you like to do, or what's your ultimate, like, what would you see as the next step?
Well, that's probably something I need to figure out. I like, I'm a pretty happy person. There's a lot of different things that I enjoy doing, and so I do feel like I maybe I should be doing more to leverage the opportunities that are in front of me.
Yeah, so doing a little bit more. And well, what's most important to you, if you wouldn't mind just sharing?
Oh, my family is certainly, I've got 4 children, who are ages 10 to 19, and I've been married for 22 years. And it's my family's the most important thing. And obviously, trying to spend as much time with them and interacting with them is always a thing that's the most important thing.
Yeah, well, I could feel the heart that you just offered out here in terms of how important family is to you. And I certainly honor you for that, because I know it's near and dear to my heart as well. Would it be okay? I know we only have a short period of time. Would it be okay if I shared a little bit about who I am and how I operate in the world?
Yes.
So I'm somebody who is actually a life coach, as you may or may not have known. And I work with folks who are in transitionary periods where they're looking to sort some things out, whether it's job related or family related, and really guide them on the path to align with what's most important to them. And that's something that in my life is most important to me, is really empowering people to step into what's most important in their heart and for their overall mission, whether it's for themselves or their family. I don't know if any of that resonates with you, but if it does, I'd be curious if you and I might have a longer conversation.
Yeah, it does. I think that would be a good conversation to have. It's one of those things that I know I should probably think about, but sometimes I wonder if I'm a little afraid to consider and think about it, because it's pretty comfortable where I am now. But if I was honest with you, maybe I need to dig deep and really determine what I should do.
Yeah, well, I mean, I certainly would love to assist with that. And I mean, we can just have a brainstorm about what that might look like, if that's
okay. All right.
Very cool. All right. Thank you, Kyle, for playing. Gina, well, let's go to Catherine. Catherine, how is that for you? I know you're on this path, but what say you?
I liked it. I think, again, the curiosity about, I think when you said what's most important for you, I think that's really, really helpful. And people are always going to be like, it costs what? But I have a couple of ideas about how to approach the cost thing, which I would love to see play out, but that's okay. But I think for me, the biggest takeaway was getting curious about him and helping him see that maybe there were some areas where your services could align with his needs. So I thought you did a good job.
Amazing. Thank you. Let me just paint a little picture, I think, for everyone. Just so Unblinded, some of the things we do is work through conversations like this, and there's a formula. And part of why I gravitated towards Unblinded is because it's so powerful once we understand some of the dynamics of this. And just to give you a little model for this particular situation is the first step is emotional rapport. We always want to build that connection with people. And then once we've built the connection, it's understanding what their challenges are, what we call their pain to yes strategy, like what do they want? And until we uncover that, we want to build that connection. And then it's the third part, which is your heroic, unique identity. Like, who are you in the world and how can you actually lean into and be someone who can make the difference in whatever it is that they're dealing with? And then the fourth piece is what we call formation agreement. So it's actually that, yes, like how could we work together? Should we work together? What's that next step? So just want to put that in there, but building that emotional rapport is crucial in any kind of conversation. And then we go from there. But before we end, I know, Gina, we should probably go around the horn, final, yes. A final word from folks as we're wrapping up here. I know we're at the tail end.
Yes, and we're at the time, but I just want to mention, just for speaking into what you were saying, David, what we learn here, and what is, there's 3 pillars, right? There's self-mastery, influence mastery, and process mastery that controls our money, time, and magic. And how we put that out is what will give us what we want in life. And so I just wanted to mention that because it's part of the formula that we practice here. And yeah, I would say let's go around the room and see how it felt for you all.
Okay, let's go to the 2 cats in the house. We didn't get to see them, Tommy John, unless I missed them. But how was this experience for you? And what's your final word here?
Yeah, it was great. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to connect with so many great people. I thought it was great.
Awesome. Fantastic. And let's go, Peter. Peter, you got the chance to be in the hot seat participant. How was this for you?
It was good. I would like to say thank you all for the feedback. I really appreciate it because obviously I think you all feel the same way, opportunities to improve yourself. So I appreciate that. And like Tommy mentioned, you guys are really interesting and great folks. So hoping to connect and stay in touch with you all.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. And your heart, the way you communicate and speak, it lands and speaks very powerfully. So thank you for that. Catherine.
Oh yeah, let me just mention, David, that right. We do have this gift from Sean and team. You guys definitely want to check it out. It's in the chat from just really kind of unpacking the formula that has caused so much money, time, and magic. And so back to you, David. Sorry, I just want to make sure
Catherine,
you know.
I'm aware that I've gone to you last a couple of times, so I don't want to have that happen again.
That's all right.
I'll go to you next. How is this all for you?
Yeah, I think it's always really great to meet people in different spaces who are not just all in your immediate ecosystem. So I'm excited to sort of have experienced this little survivor-like experience with the gentleman on the call, and we'll link in with all of you after the show.
Amazing. Well, Catherine, great to meet you, and thanks for joining us today. Let's go to Luis, who now has his tropical background in display as well.
I just flew in, guys. I'm right next to you now.
Amazing.
Margarita time.
Yeah. Margarita in hand. No, it's great. And you know what's really great is that here we are in our respective places of business or home, and we're connecting all over the globe. And that, to me, like, if you think about it, it's pretty crazy. So it's always good to meet good people, right? Quality people. That's something I kind of mention a lot when I speak to my teams. You want to be a quality person. And I feel like quality people on this call, and it's great. I love meeting.
Well, we're all about integrity-based human influence. So this is where this is what it's about, integrity. So appreciate that.
Yeah. And absolute pleasure, Luis. And your heart shines too. I love everybody here just has such power inside of them, and pleasure to be with you today. Let's go to David.
Thank you. Yeah, it was so much fun. It was really thrilling to have a conversation with everyone here and to meet you all. I never turned down an opportunity to have some fun and to shore up my improv comedy skills. So this is perfect. Thank you so much.
I didn't say that, David. Maybe we should talk a little bit more. I used to work Magnet Theater. I took a bunch of improv classes, and
awesome.
I am by no means a professional, but I definitely had a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
Me neither, but I was part of the Seoul City Improv in Seoul, Korea, the improv group out there.
Well, I'd love to chat a little bit about that. That's fun. Very good. And last but not least, Kai, what say you? I know you've had some fun. You've got the island in the background, and yeah, how is this for you?
Oh, it was wonderful meeting everyone here. I really enjoyed making some connections, doing something a little bit different on a Friday afternoon, and spending some valuable time with some great people. And I am looking forward to maybe creating some future relationships. So thank you for putting us together.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you want to purchase my life coaching package?
Or mine.
David, exactly. I just
Send
want
me
to
an
mention
offer,
too, guys, before everyone, people have to start dropping off, just real quick, because I know we've gone over now a couple of minutes. Like Sean will be unpacking all of the formula of how he drives forward actualization of money, time, and magic through the formula. On Monday night, everyone here is invited. It is called the Real Raw Conversation, and if you want to be a part of that, we'd love to have you. We also actually have our first event post-COVID, our first live event.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, technically it's for a lot of our members, but there's the first night is open to everybody. It's going to be in New Jersey. It's going to be mind-blowing. And that's happening the second week of July. So there's a couple of things that we'd love to have you guys be a part of if you want. So Monday night is open to all of you. It's an extraordinary evening of like training and driving home how this formula unpacks magic for many. And what else, David? Is there anything else? I just want, and please reach out to me because I do want to bring you back in when Sean's back. So David, go for it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really exciting. We're very excited for our immersion weekend coming up in mid-July, and we can certainly be in touch with you about that. If you're, it's in New Jersey, but we welcome all, so we can share that with you. There's a limited number of capacity, so a little bit of that going on.
Oh, it's our Unblinded Accelerator. It's our immersive accelerator into more money, time, and magic. So yes, right.
So well, everyone, this was fantastic. Great to meet all of you. A pleasure sharing what we'll call a stage and a microphone and an experience with you. So thank you for being here.
Thank you all so much. Great meeting you.
Thank you.
Shared experience. Ciao. And David, we're all blind.
And just learning to see.
All blind, learning to see. I love it.
Yes.
Right.
Great weekend. Bye. Have a great weekend, everyone.